Hello everyone, welcome to our bonus session on the University Through Our Eyes webinar series. It's another Saturday to learn, and we are really excited to put this together for every student that has come across any of our videos from the first to the second to the third to the fourth and now to the fifth. I'm just going to share like a wonderful secret with everyone. So I did a 5 years course, and from the first year, one of the questions I had or I wanted to get answers for, one of the major questions was on academic excellence and how to improve my grades. And then I went on to the second year where it was time to look for scholarship opportunities. And that was the second session that we had with Engineer Folarin. And then the third year, I went into questioning how to navigate through the academic environment since you are finding a balance at this point. And 300 level is a time where you kind of have a hang of the things that you already do, the opportunities you're already open to, and then you look for how to navigate through these opportunities. So 300 level was the time for navigation through the academic environment. And then 400 level, of course, besides thinking, finance, how to increase in knowledge, how to increase our skills, how to improve on our skills, and how to, fine tune them for the next phase of our lives. And then in my fifth year, it went into personal branding, how to become a brand for yourself and to also better position yourself to the world, because we are going global in no time. So these sessions have been like, they've been from my journey, questions I would have loved to get answered, or I also got answers to these questions while I was a student. So they have been questions from my journey. And today we are going to speak to personal branding as a student, and I'm going to have my guest on with us very soon. So this topic holds immense significance to me and for me, as it has played a pivotal role in throughout my 5 years journey in the university, from my freshman, like from the first year to my final year. And I think I've put together all the lessons that you need from my journey in these sessions, like I already said. And personal branding is a very crucial concept for anyone aspiring to be an excellent person all around. We talked about excellence being not just having a streamlined definition, but being a broad word, whereby you have to be excellent in in all the things that you are doing to be defined excellence. And personal branding is one of the things, or would be one of the things that will help you when you are putting in for scholarship, when you are even when you are looking for opportunities, not necessarily scholarships, for other opportunities. There are some programs that they will ask you to describe yourself towards in not more than 250 words, and you are looking, oh, what is this? What should I say? And what who am I? Those questions that you ask at that particular time. So that's what we are trying to speak to, and it encompasses various skills, starting with self-awareness, like you discovering yourself, you knowing yourself, and even knowing what you're about, and then presenting yourself to the world. So what you convey when presented with opportunities, how you describe yourself to others, and how effectively you engage with the opportunities that come your way all contribute to your personal brand. And yes, I have like a very wonderful guest with us, and immediately you join this call, just show us your love in the comment section, and of course, don't forget to like this video, share subscribe to the channel. Of course, we are still going to bring more videos. This might look like the last session on the series, but it's not the last session of impact that we'll be bringing your way. Of course, Student Impact Initiative is all about helping the students, helping young people discover themselves, the full potentials, maximize their potentials into its fullness. So that's what we are about. So there will still be videos, we'll still give you videos. But on the series, this is going to be the last session. And yes, one aspect of personal branding would involve creating personal mission and vision statements. And these statements help you define your goals and aspirations clearly. And they would also help you explore how to establish a digital presence. Of course, you know the apps you need to be on, the social media where you need to present yourself. There are some apps that you would not need if you are a type of person, if you are a certain type of person. And also we are also speaking to email, like in fact it's just branding yourself generally. I don't know if you can still hear me, but I said we are speaking to branding yourself generally. So without much ado, I'm going to bring our guest up. Yeah, I hope we can see our guest. Welcome. Welcome, Miss Jula. So good to have you here. Ma, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you,
Ma, can you hear me?
Immaculata. Thank you so much. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you so much
All
for
right. Thank you so much.
agreeing to do this with us. It's a pleasure, indeed a pleasure to
Thank
have you
you.
on our screen. So, would you do us the honors of introducing
Thank
yourself?
Okay, my name is Ayodele Oluwanifemi Hannah Dila, and I am an academic writer, a freelance academic writer, and I am a body positivity advocate. So basically, those are the two things I do. Basically, so I write for a living, freelancing, and I've been doing that for the past 4 years. I work as a content creator, also a content writer for brands, and I also have my own mission as regards people's esteem when it comes to self-esteem and body positivity. So that's why I call myself a body positivity advocate, because I have a message to people out there, especially teenagers and young adults, to be able to embrace their body. So, and so far, I built my personal brand as an individual. So that's why I'm here today to talk about personal branding. So it doesn't look like whatever I've said, how does it correlate with what we are doing today? Yeah, so that's why I'm here to talk about personal branding today. And I want to thank the host and convener of this program for this opportunity. Thank you so much. I do not take it for granted.
You're welcome. Okay, so from your introduction, you can already see that like you do a lot of things. You are kind of multifaceted. Like you do a lot of things, and it's wonderful. How many of these things did you start while you were a student? Let's start from there.
Okay, basically, I think, let me say, I don't want to say it's because it's actually everything, but I didn't start everything at once. It actually started
Okay.
gradually. Some started first, then I picked another, then I picked another, I picked another. I started writing a very long time ago, even before I started using it as a business. I had the skill, I had the passion for writing. So when we were still in secondary school, then if you want to write essay, they always know that at least if you see me Femi's essay when it comes to essays, it's always very calm. Like it's not like all these people that just write essays anyhow. Essays essays are always no, she writes essays well. So when I got to 200 level, I I had quite some challenges financially. So I was I had to just come out of my shell, and I had to start thinking of what to do to actually make funds coming. I actually had to make things work. So
Mm,
I had a boss then. I call him boss for all these people that we call them Egbo. So he entered my DM that day and like, can you write something? I can't forget. It was about a product that was about to be launched abroad.
mm,
So a company is about to launch a drug, something like that. So can I describe the drug in such a way that can make people love the drug and actually understand the function of the drug? And I was like, no problem. Then I was using um A23 or A12. I think it's A12. I tell A12,
mm,
a very small phone that can't even do so much. So I had to write it on paper and pen. So that's where it all started from. Then was that's around 2017, 2018 thereabouts. So then
mm,
in 2020, I graduated and yes, so that was 2021. Sorry, I started getting interested in academic writing. So I developed this a bit. I've been writing all those while, but when it comes to academic writing, I switched and transitioned into academic writing in 2021. And then in 2022, that was last year, I picked up I wrote a book in 2020. So then I just wrote it for writing sake as far as my story of my life. I just wrote it. So when it got 2022, I got serious about it. I was like, okay, I want to write this book and all of that. So this year, I wrote it, and the whole thing I saw about it, I was like, wow, it even gave me so many opportunities. It brought so many opportunities my way. So I picked it up again like another mission. Oh, this is another thing we have to do, and we are doing it right. So I started putting myself out there, saying much about this, saying it as a message, and so
mm.
that's how everything came up from. So and all these 2 years I've been taking, I was a student. I just graduated this year. That was early. That was February 2023. So I've been a student from 2016, all thanks to ASU and so many numerous strikes. So from 2016 to 2023, I was a student, and that was when I did my career to wherever it is now.
Wow, wow, wow. So this track that someone was complaining about, you utilize it to build something for yourself. That's so brilliant. Okay, so I have a lot of questions for you. And I
Yes.
don't know if anyone watching has like their own questions. I can see a few people in I can see comments already. And I just okay, I'll ask my first question because I don't want to be overwhelmed. I'm trying to pick all the informations and trying to know where I'll put it into the question so I don't get ahead of myself. But the first question we'll ask is how has personal branding, been played a role in your academic journey? Do you think it played any role in your academic journey? Let's start from there. Then you would explain how.
Okay, how it is, right?
Did you
Okay,
ask the
should I go
question?
ahead and to answer the question?
Yes, yes, yes. You can.
Okay, it might not have a direct, just like you asked, like, did it play any role? Yes, it did. Although it might not be direct, that I can say, okay, because of my personal branding, this was what came up. But it really did, because I would say something for every other graduate that's on this call, and for
Mm,
everyone that is still going to listen to this live session after this live streaming. You don't go to school just to bag certificate alone. There is so many other things attached to the reason you are in school. There is impact. There is voice. When I mean voice, I mean the level of stuff that you can command in your school, even as a student of that school. So you cannot, let me just even stick with impact. You cannot have enough impact like you ought to if you don't brand yourself. I stand to be corrected. You cannot just put yourself out. You cannot just be like an ordinary person and you will claim that you have impact. No. Now let me use a very good example that everybody on this call will be very familiar with. These are SUG
Mm,
parastatals in school. Let me use an example of the SUG president. You don't expect the SUG president to brand themselves or to maybe when he wants to, when you see someone that wants to vie for the post of the SUG president, and then the person puts up a flyer for his or his or her brand campaign, I mean his presidency campaign, and it looks like any other. It looks like the treasurer's campaign or it looks like the PRO's campaign. No, it's not possible. You would always see a difference. So the truth is that
mm,
personal branding will always have its own impact on your academic journey. It makes your academic journey more impactful. It really makes it more impactful. That's why you see students teaching students of the same level and the same department because there's a difference. You're not like
mm,
any other student. So you might be in the same class listening to the same lectures, but no, there is a difference between you two. And that's why they will write an invitation to invite that person in the same class and department like, that you are. And you will be seated there to listen to the person talk because something is different about the person. So the truth is, yes, there is an impact that personal branding has on your academic journey. It doesn't make you to just go to school and graduate just like an ordinary student. The difference between you and the fellow in your class that is being respected than you are is because you have not done the branding that the person has done to his or herself that you have actually omitting in your academic journey. So for me, just to conclude on that question, I would say that it really helped me as regards opportunities. Yes, it might not be so much flashy like that, but there are times that when people think about speaking engagement, anything that has to do with public speaking, anything that has to do with debate competitions for my department, for my college, I think we call it college in my school. So some schools call it faculty. I mean, in, that has several departments in it. I am always sought out for. I remember a particular time in 300 level, and we didn't even know that my department, my college was supposed to do something, and it was very impromptu. They had to just choose people. I was the first person that came to the brain of the president. Like it might say, was like, okay, where is Femi? I know she can do this. It's because I have positioned myself as the go-to person for such a
mm,
thing like that. So I guess with that key point of mine, I'll be able to answer the question that personal branding has an impact on your academic journey.
That's so profound. You talk about being a student not just for academic excellence, but for impact and to be a voice. And that's just it's just so profound that um, we have to broaden our scope of understanding of a student to not just see ourselves as just passing through the academic environment, but being a part of it, being a part, impacting lives as a part of the academic environment. And that's just really, really, it speaks to a lot of things, not just even the question I asked. The second question I would like to ask is we've been talking about personal branding. What specific skills are involved in personal branding and how have you developed these skills? You can
Okay,
answer.
when it comes to personal branding, just like you said when you were introducing the topic today, you said a lot of fantastic things. I would just want to add that, we should not have the mindset that, or we individuals should not have the mindset that when personal branding looks ambiguous. When people say branding, some people's acts are always like this big, big that hey, branding, something. It's very simple. And the truth of it is that a lot of people do these things unconsciously, but they just need to put little more effort and a little bit of expertise just to make it reach or to be able to attract the target audience that they need. When I was preparing for this session, one of the things I said I was going to emphasize is that if you don't have a target audience for whatever you are branding, yourself, your skill, your expertise, whatever it is not a
Mm.
brand at all. Because you must have somebody, you must have people that you want them to see what you are doing and you want them to appreciate it. That is why that is the branding aspect. So if you're just doing everything and you don't have a target audience, then you're not branding anything. Now I'm saying that because I will be talking about the skills, and I want us to understand why those skills are needed. Because if you are going to attract people, you have to give them what can attract them.
Mm.
You are attracting people. That is what the branding is all about. So you have to give them what can attract them. So the basic skills, number one, I would say I added it myself personally, is speech fluency, diction. You know, most of us as youth, we don't like to come to the understanding that this is very, very important. But I would want to emphasize that it is part of the skills that you need for personal branding. You can't be aiming for a global stage and you'll be talking like a local breed. It's not possible. So if you need to sit down with dictionary and listen to how things are supposed to be pronounced correctly, listen to how it's not a day job. I still do it even despite the effort I'm putting at it presently. I still do it. Sometimes I want to pronounce a sentence and I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. I run to my dictionary, my mobile dictionary, listen to the way it ought to be pronounced, and then I'm like, okay, I say it repeatedly just to be able to get it correctly. Speech is one of the way you actually position yourself in personal branding. That is one. Number two is basic graphic design. I used to tell people that care to listen anytime in this age. I tell you that graphic designing is no longer a skill that you say that is for some particular set of people. No, it's for everybody. Although you might not need to know everything like some people would do. You might not need to how will I put it now? You might not need to be so vast in it, but have basic graphic designing skills. And when you want to put yourself or you want to put a message out there based on yourself, you don't do it like a shabby person. People don't you don't do rainbow colors and you're just looking at everything and you're like, what's this? You don't throw off yourself from people's glances based on your graphics. So learn basic graphic designing skills. By the time I was going to learn it, although I now teach people, but when I wanted to learn it, I had to learn it in money. It was not free. I learned it in money because even as a day when I learned it, I was not learning it because I wanted to cheat people. I was learning it because I knew I needed it because I would be putting out content and I don't want my content to be looking like rainbow colors to people so that
Mm.
the way people see your graphics itself even shows how your level of professionalism is. I don't know if we see it that way, but that's the way I view things. If your graphics is showing something that is different from what you call yourself, if you call yourself Master A, you have the whole you have the whole principles to success. If your graphics is not looking like what you claim, I won't believe you. That's just the truth.
Mm.
So learn basic graphic designing skills. Number three is photography. Photography. Now I'm not saying that you have to go and learn a
Mm.
camera. Smartphone photography. You really some people don't know how to take nice. Some people don't know it. When they want to take picture, they just stand like one tree, and then they post it on Instagram. They post it. No, come on, know how to take pictures like the voice that you want to command, like the
Mm.
impact you want to make in your society. Take pictures like that. Let your look like what you are looking. Let your look like what you are aiming for. If there's anything like that, but let your look like what you are aiming for. And I think another thing I wrote in my book here is basic video editing skills. Yes, you have to learn it. You don't need to know the whole paparazzi about it, but if you want to put out a video content, just know something that you can do, join together, how you can put music in your videos, how you can make it look wonderful. So those are basic things. And these things you can learn them on YouTube. You can learn them on YouTube. That's the go-to place, even if you don't have money to say you want to invest
Mm,
in learning from an expert or whatever, you can learn these things on YouTube. They are available there for free. That even in my design, I still go ahead to watch some YouTube videos when I need to improve myself on some things. Um, this application is also there. This application is it? No, not free picture this time around. I'm trying to remember. When I remember, I would this. Well, but I mostly check for pictures on it, but you can also get inspiration on some things. DIY, do it yourself videos are also there. So YouTube is my go-to when it comes to free learning because you can always learn for free. So I think with those different of mine, yes. And the last one I have in my list is public speaking. You need to know how to speak
mm,
to audience the way to hot to if you are actually going to brand yourself because whatever you are branding because you want people to see you. So be a voice.
mm.
And if you don't know how to speak like a voice, learn it. You can also learn it on YouTube. All right. I think I've answered the question.
Wow. I want to like that first thing you said about speaking. I think most times um most people don't identify or recognize how well how well they need to learn how to speak right because there are sometimes that there are some corrections that you just feel like you like if you sit down and listen to yourself, there are some things that you would work on personally without people having to tell you, oh, this thing you're not saying it right, you're not saying it. So I feel there's an intentionality that comes with learning all these skills. Like you have to be very intentional. You don't have to wait for people to say you are not speaking right, your the things you are putting out are not excellent. You would see it by yourself that there's a better way to do it, there's a more excellent way to do this. So then you put in the work, be intentional about making yourself an excellent brand. Yes, even if you are building a personal brand, let it be excellent. I think that's just it speaks a lot to personal branding. And it leads me to the next question I would ask on personal mission and vision statements because um yes, as a student, I feel most times most people find out later in their student journey that oh there was a need to actually have a vision of their lives even while they are in school. So did you ever like sit down to say, okay, let me create a personal vision, mission statement? Because when you were talking, I could hear the body positivity, um, yeah, I think it's a mission. It's a mission. Yeah. Actually it's a core in your in what the things you do. Body positivity, putting out that message is a core in the things you do. And then also
Yeah.
um strategist, like being a brand strategist is also part of it. So did you ever sit down to say, okay, this is my mission, this is my vision, and then these are the ways I would put out these things, I would do these things. I want to achieve this and these are the ways I want to, because okay, another thing I noticed about you is that you write a lot. Like I think people normally you write a lot. So yes, I want to get that gist from you today.
Okay. Actually, I'm going to say that the journey of personal branding is a marathon race. I've
Mm,
been doing whatever I'm doing now for years, but sometimes I still have to sit down and re-strategize. Like, okay, I do this better now. I can switch to this. I can transition to this. I can streamline my message to this. And that's why I'm saying this because you cannot get everything all figured out at once. So with time, you understand your strengths because it's basically strength. You have to measure on your strength because that is where your voice will be louder. So when you start, you might just like you don't start with a vague mindset actually. You don't start with like, okay, let me just do anything the way it is. No, you don't start with that kind of mindset. You have to start with something. Okay, I want to be, let's say you are a you're a vocalist and you want, or whatever, maybe you sing and you want to build your personal branding in that line. Okay, you say, okay, I want to sing gospel songs that will minister to depressed souls. I'm using that as an example. So basically, all these songs that you're going to be singing will be songs that strengthens people when they are weak, maybe in one situation of life that they, in every situation of life that they find themselves when they feel weak. So you can start with that, and then as you progress, you can see that okay, I also have a kind of maybe passion, or like say that when I sing and children listen to me, you kind of draw them to God or something. Then you can create a mission around that too. So your mission can take time before you figure everything out. But it is a step by step process. And that's why I said it's a marathon race. You can never get it all figured out. And even as kingdom beings, even as I let me use myself as an example, as a kingdom individual, there are times that you get redirected by God, even in your personal brand. And God is saying that, okay, this time around, this is the people I want you to, these are the set of people I want you to focus on. I want you to start talking, or I want you to start passing a message that would
Mm.
bless this set of people, or I want you to start doing something that would bless this set of people. So sometimes we get redirected by God. So I would just say that don't start anything big, even if you are starting a fashion business as a personal brand, and you are a fashion illustrator, you are a music director, you are a painter, you are an artist, whatever that you are starting as a personal brand, don't start vaguely. Have a mission. Know that this is what you want to do, but trust me, it might get it might get alterated with time, that you might need to actually change some things, change some things, change something. It's actually fine. So nobody has it all figured out in the beginning. With time, you will get it all figured out. But even in ages to come and years to come, you still have to change it or add something new to it. It's still part of the mission and it's still part of the message.
That's okay. So there's something you said that I had to think about it. You said major on your strengths. That's where your voice will be loudest, and that's just wow. Hmm. That's some good stuff. Okay. Another thing I wanted to say is, yeah, I just wanted to add to that. You've done a great job on that question. But what I wanted to say was just that,
I didn't hear that.
is it the first thing I said? I
Can you
said
hear
you
me,
did a
please? I
great
can't
job
hear you
on the
any
question.
longer.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay. Can you hear me? I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay.
You can hear me. I actually can't hear you presently. And I
Oh
can't hear you
my.
at all.
Can you hear me now? Okay. I was speaking to the question. I think I said you did a great job on the question, and I was just saying I would like to add that whatever anyone is doing, we should try to make whatever we are doing bigger than ourselves. If we are looking at everything we are doing based on the scope of where we are, the things we can do at the moment, it will not transcend into something greater. But if we can make whatever we are doing at the moment greater than where we are at that point, we would see that the impact and the influence we'll be able to make from those things would be far reaching. So that's why I wanted to speak to that question. Thank you so much, Beulah. Um, yes, having a personal mission and vision statement is really key for anyone who wants to excel in whatever area they've chosen as their niche, as their core. And like Vila was saying, it's just important to pay attention to these things, even even if along the line you'll be adding things, you'll be removing, you'll be adding things, you'll be removing, because it doesn't come in a whole picture. But of course, when you are intentional about knowing it at the beginning, you would be able to know when to shift, when to make adjustments, and when to even rebrand. So it's so lovely to at the beginning create a personal vision and mission statement. So I think I'll just list out the skills again in case you didn't hear when she said the skills you would need for personal branding, the core skills, the essential skills. She said speaking skills, basic graphic designing skills, photography skills, you knowing how to take pictures properly, having a headshot if you've not gotten like a headshot for the opportunities that are coming your way, basic video editing skills on platforms where you need to put out videos, public speaking skills too, because as you grow, there will be invitations for you to speak, and even if not invitations for you to speak, there will be opportunities for you to even um like say sell yourself, sell your vision, sell your mission to someone else who wants to buy into whatever you are doing. And of course it can be a few minutes, but if you have practiced before on how to do this thing, it will be easier and it will be better delivered. Okay, I think we are having our speaker is having technical difficulties, so would keep speaking to this topic. So the next question I would have loved to ask our speaker, can you hear me? Don't know. I'm trying to fix this. Okay, we are trying to get our speaker back on the call. Okay, so a question I wanted to ask was, how does she balance the pursuit of excellence with understanding that perfection is not always attainable? So when there's this push most times to meet perfection at the beginning of something, like you just start something and you want to be perfect at it. Our speaker is back. Yep, yep, yep. Hi, Beulah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, I can. Yes, I can hear you now.
Thank you. Okay, so I was already speaking, explaining the next question I would have loved to ask. I wanted to just throw this question to you. How do you balance the pursuit of excellence with the understanding that perfection is not always attainable? So I was saying that most times, like, we start off wanting to be excellent, wanting to be perfect, yes, not excellent. We want to put out perfect things. So we hold on, like we hold back and say, okay, when I have all that it takes to put out a perfect content, then I will start. And then again, you notice that there is nothing like a perfect content. Most people have built an audience
Yeah,
around just doing what they love, just doing anything. And then there are people who
yeah,
have valuable content within them that are still waiting for perfection to deliver these things to the world. So I want you to speak on that perfection, excellence as someone who is branding themselves. You can go on, man.
okay. Uh, can I say something?
Ma?
I was saying that, can I say something about that? Like very
Yes,
briefly.
I already threw the question to you.
Okay, okay. The just like you said, there is no perfect content anywhere. I was going through
Mm,
Instagram maybe a few months ago, and then I scrolled on Folashade Diary. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, but it's
mm,
Folashade Diary. I call her. So I was scrolling through that post on Instagram, and then she said something when they said that it is the most it is like for her what she has experienced so far is that content that she actually puts little effort into are the ones that actually get seen or that actually get
mm-hmm,
the algorithm actually boost and all of that. Now the truth is that you don't know the content that is actually going to bring the numbers that you want. You don't know the
mm,
content that is actually going to bring the results that you need. And the thing is that in when I was preparing for this thing, I wrote something in my book, and I wrote that in attracting opportunities, you have to be prepared for opportunities. Now, why am I
mm,
saying this? I posted something on my page, and then it was about my NYC experience, just a glimpse of my NYC experience at the orientation camp where I was posted to. And then, the person, somebody, people checked the post, and then somebody came to my DM and was like, wow, you have a wonderful, like the person was just complimenting the video, and the person said, I went through your page, you have wonderful content on your page. Like, imagine that I was always discouraged based on the numbers my content were doing or the algorithm of my content, and I just maybe post savvy content, or I even got depressed about posting. No, I can't even say I post consistently because of the nature of my work. But let's say I got discouraged and I don't even post anything on my page. Now, when the person went to check that post, would the person be um how will I put it? The person be led to check my other posts. Now, if you are preparing for opportunities on the global space, you have to keep doing what you know how to do, even when it is not giving you the results that you want. So there is nothing like a perfect content, and you say, "Oh, this is perfect." Even the perfect that you thought is very, very perfect that will give you that you will do,
mm-hmm,
people will see this thing and they will do who might not bring that number that you want to. It might not bring it at all. So whether your algorithm is doing well or it's not doing well, just keep posting, keep doing, creating content, keep giving value, because that's the essence of the content you are creating. You're not just creating it for fun, or you're not just creating it if only if you're a comedian or you're a dancer. That's why you can just be creating things for fun. But even if you are a comedian, you have to have a message that you're passing in your comedy. But we are not talking about comedians here. We're talking about content. So keep posting content, keep creating value. You don't know when one content is going to draw the attention of people to the other content that you have created. That's my take on that actually.
hmm. Wow. Okay, I wanted to ask, I just wanted to speak to how what advice you would give to students who are really scared. I know you said keep creating content, but in a bid to look for, in a bid to seek perfection, people are actually seeking to put out excellent content. And I know you've already given us the skills that we should learn. But I just want to give an advice to a student, probably from a personal experience, something, just share something to that student that is like scared to start what they or to pursue what they have already in mind. Like this person has clarity already, but this person is just scared to pursue this. You can go
Okay,
on, ma.
okay. What I would just say about that question is that how will I best put it right now? The truth is that nobody how will I put it now? But nobody's going to see. Let me be blunt about it because I was thinking I should push it up a little, but nobody will see you if you don't put yourself out there. It's just the
Yes.
truth. Nobody,
Yes.
no, see, the word is very, very saturated. Very, very saturated. In fact, very, very
Mhm.
few is like an understatement on it. The word is super, super saturated. So you need to strive physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything in you to ensure that you are seen. So if you are
Mhm.
timid about getting seen, how then do you want to make impact? That is my question. If you
Mm.
are timid about getting seen, and maybe you have imposter syndrome, because most of the people that I interview, and when you get to ask people why are you not doing this, I'm still good at what I do. This thing I'm still lacking in this place. I'm still lacking in this place. I'm still lacking in this place. See, there are people out there that are putting themselves out there that don't even know up to time. You don't even know up to one quarter of what you know. So why are you timid about what you know that you are calling little? Regardless of how little it is, put it out there. My journey as a writer, let me just use a very quick story about myself. I tell people like I didn't really have to do much when it comes to building my brand because I always have myself out there. The jargons I
Hmm.
was doing, the little I was doing, everything I was doing was always out there. So and my results were out there. And that is how networking comes. That's how somebody can say that, okay, I know one lady that used to post about this thing. Sometimes when you want to learn, imagine, sometimes when I want to buy clothes, I wanted to get these glasses a few days ago. And then I just remembered that, okay, somebody used to post something like this on their status. Then I went to a DM, okay, do you have this kind of glasses for sale and all of that? So that's the way it is. If you are doing something, please don't be timid about putting yourself out there. The world is saturated already. Everybody is fighting for space. So you start fighting early so that you can get your space. I tell people, if you are going
Hmm.
to be a writer, start writing now and start putting yourself out there now. I tell people that come to me for writing because see, if this is 2023 and writing is already getting this saturated, do you know what will be? Do you know how saturated the writing need to be in the next 3 4 years? It is only people that have grants now that will make sense then. So whatever you are doing is only going to keep getting saturated. It's not going to decline. Don't ever think it's going to
Mhm.
decline. No. People are being given birth to every day. People are learning that skill that you are still hiding. People are learning it every day. So don't start competing with people that learned after you. Start competing with the people that are in vogue now. So please, this is my charge to you. If you're on this call and you're still timid about yourself, come on, jack up, jack up, jack up. Put yourself out there. I know that you might not be that excellent, but you are building. You're building yourself, and that's what matters. Put yourself out there and
Hmm.
trust me, and trust your process because things don't just happen in a day. So trust your process. Even me myself, I'm still trusting my process. Like I'm still trusting my process. So please trust the process, trust the rigor, trust the grinding, trust everything, and you will surely, 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 surely make that
Wow.
impact in you.
Wow. One thing I got from that is that we are all works in progress. Like we are building ourselves. I think one of the reasons why we should even put ourselves out there is not even because of people first off, it's because of yourself. You know you are building yourself. If you put this thing out, it can either get accolades or criticism.
Can you hear
And
me,
if you
please?
get yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay. And if you get accolades, you know that yes, this one is for me. And if it's criticism, if it's the other way, you will know that okay, I have something to work on. Of course, when you are putting yourself out there, you are ready to get either um the positive the positive accolades or like you get the negative criticism. And whatever comes your way, you must be ready to take it as part of your building, work on the criticisms, work on the things you need to work on, and also embrace the ones that you need to receive. And don't let it get into your head because you are still building. are still building. That's one thing I really took from that conversation, that response. And I would just like to ask, this should be my final question, but if you have any question and you are watching this video, of course, this is the time for you to ask. I've seen some of you in the comment section. Ololade says that I'll keep creating value, and that's just it. It starts from there. Knowing that yes, what you are doing is valuable, even if you've not seen the person is giving value to, it's giving value to yourself because it's a part of your beauty. It's a step in your building into the right direction. So do it for yourself at the beginning. Do it for yourself. Keep doing it for yourself. Keep doing it for yourself. And before you know it, the people that would receive these things that you are doing will come your way. So I would like us to speak to clarity. I know we already started speaking about it when we're talking about the personal vision and mission statement. And I'd just like to ask what role does clarity play in shaping our personal brand, especially as we progress in final year, like as we are getting, because I really want I really want to help liberate someone's mind here today, final year student, probably listening to this, who has never ever taken up the opportunity to do something good for themselves. And I mean in branding, in the sphere of branding. Like they've never put out a content, and I'm not even saying content, even WhatsApp status. Some people are not even, they don't even want to put out WhatsApp status. They're like, oh, that person's going to know what's going on. And of course, if you can send out your CV for like job offers, then you should be able to tell people that you are doing something. If people have opportunity for you, how would they get it to you if they don't know exactly what you are doing? So if I want to give you an opportunity, I always have to come and ask you, "Please, what do you say you are even doing again? Okay, I've seen this one." So of course, if you want to
Exactly.
get opportunities, if you want people to just remember you in their spaces, oh, I think this person will need this. You would have to place that opportunity for them to even see what you are doing. Most people don't even know what you studied. It's not what they are thinking about. But if you don't make them see that okay, I've done this thing, I have, and I still want to do so much more in this sphere. I want to make an impact in this sphere. They would not help. They would not give you opportunities. They would not even recommend you in places where you are not there. So I want us to speak to clarity. And I don't even mean clarity like having the total picture of where you are going to and what you are going to do there. But clarity in the sense of at this moment I am clear on what I have to do and how I have to do it. As a final year student, I've studied this course and probably I want to make something out of it. Or I have studied this course and I want to get a job, make something out of it. Or I don't even want a job, but I want to go into something else. I want to switch. I want to have a career switch into something else. So I want you to speak to final year students on how clarity actually plays a role in our personal branding. Yes, my you can go on. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for that question. And before I even answer the question, I want to say that see, a man that is not clear on what he or she is doing will only move in cycles. That means you will be back to where you thought you had left after spending time and resources. Clarity is very key to resourceful living and impact, even to success. Clarity is very key. You know, as final year students, we have so much bothering us. I've once been there, and you know, it's not funny, especially when you are leaving school and you have so much questions you are asking yourself. Questions like, what's next? what do I want to do? Where do I want to go to from here? What you know, see, the funny thing is that all these questions have been there from the beginning. But when you now get to final year, it eats deeper. Like it comes to you, it dawns on you like a reality. Like, like the time is here and you're getting out from school and then there is no longer allowing from home. There is no longer excuses that you want to say that, oh, the reason why I'm not doing this thing is because we have lectures or we have classes or we have exams and all of that. Number one, that I would say is that to answer the question, clarity gives you direction and it helps you to know when you are making the right or you're making the right decision or when you are taking the right step. And it helps you to know if you are actually closer to your dreams or you are still far. Now, let me emphasize on that. There is a way that when you are sure about what you want to do, there is a way you can actually measure your growth. You can say, okay, in getting to where I want to be, these are the things I need to achieve. These are the things I need to do. These are the things that I need to get. So when you are actually clear on those things, then you can actually start creating milestones that okay, for the first 1 year, I will target this, or for the first 3 months, I'm going to target this. Then you can say, okay, for the next 6 months, I am going to actually focus on this aspect of what I want to become. But you cannot actually create milestones. You cannot create targets for yourself if you are not clear about what you want to achieve. I used to say something to anyone that cares to listen. The truth is that you cannot be a person that has goal and focus and not have milestones for yourself because success does not happen overnight. It's a progressive effort. Your personal branding, you cannot become all personally branded overnight. It's a progressive effort of the little steps that you take towards achieving the main and the big goal, which is your focus. So know what to, you cannot know the milestones to set for yourself, the targets to set for yourself, if you are not clear about what you want to do in the first place. I don't know if everybody here are Christians, but regardless of your religion or regardless of what you actually believe in as regards God, please, I would be very, very unfair to tell you that you can find clarity outside God. No, you can't. The first person to actually make inquiries from when you are trying to make decisions as a final year student about what you want to do is God. You might be a very brilliant chap, a very brilliant individual who have a very good result, and you are not using your certificate. Not because you cannot use it, but because you have gotten something else that can pay your bills and can give you that voice that you need in the society. Not everybody is going to use their certificate. It's very easy that we make that clear now. And some of us, we have to use it. It's not everybody that will be entrepreneurs also. So stop running into a business if you don't know, if you are not sure that God wants you in that business. A lot of a lot of people do things because they want to meet present end needs. They say that just like the world will everybody will say now, sapa sapa sapa. So they want to. I am an advocate of you doing multiple businesses. Yes, it's very good. Do multiple things, have multiple streams of income, but let it be right. Don't do it because people are doing it. Don't do it because you feel that that's the money making machine of our day because you will get frustrated. See, life is frustrating enough. Don't add more load to yourself by doing things that you're not supposed to do. So when you are confused, first sit, pray in whatever way you know how to pray. Sit, find a time to talk to God. Now do a SWOT analysis on yourself. I tell people I do it a lot. I analyze my strengths, I analyze my weakness, I analyze my opportunities, and I analyze my threats. When you do these things, it gives you more direction. I said it earlier on this call that you focus on your strengths and you embrace your opportunities. So when you have actually analyzed your strengths and you know what you can do more, You know the places that you have opportunities. Then put those things in order of priorities on a scale of preference. Which one comes first? Which one have do you know that, oh, this one I'm very very good at it. This one, this is what I know. Okay, this is where I need to improve on. When you do all those things, I call it a process of self-discovery. When you go through that process, you cannot come out of that process and lack clarity. I can bet it
Mm-hmm.
with my life. You cannot come out of that intentional process and lack clarity. No. So if you have already analyzed that and you realize that, well, I need to sit down with what I studied in school. That is my strength. That is my strength. Sit down with it and then know how you improve yourself, know how you embrace the opportunities in that field and get better at it. And if you've analyzed it and you know that, okay, I can still do something else aside what I learned in school. Okay, maybe I'm very good in shoemaking. I can still do shoemaking with my certificate, and then it will still be good. Then make it together. You won't lack clarity
Mm.
if you give yourself to self discovery. And when you have clarity, set, set milestones, set tasks, set things for yourself, and make them time specific. In the next 3 months, I want to achieve this. And be accountable to
Mm-hmm.
yourself and find an accountability partner. Sometimes give yourself deadly, what will I call it now? Give yourself some deadly repercussions if you don't if you don't keep to your milestones. That is how you can actually make it. That is how you can actually be who you want to be. Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes you might falter. But if your reasons are tangible, good. But don't make excuses for yourself when you can actually push yourself further. I think I've been able to answer that question. And if I have not, you can just let me know so that I can shed more light on it.
I really love the passion and the energy you spoke that question because it's actually very very important that we understand how far we can go with clarity, how far we can go with clarity. So I'll just, because we are already wrapping up in the final minutes of this webinar session, I'll just like to say from my own end, I'd just like to say one thing I would ask the question to like the last final question, because as you were speaking, another question came to my mind. So one thing I think everybody who wants to brand themselves should pay attention to is your email address, because I see some email address. Please and please, if you have all those funny names like as
I didn't
your
hear the question
email.
clearly, please. Sorry.
No, I'm not done asking asking a question. I'm just speaking to people who have these funny names as their email address. Like probably, I don't even want to give examples, but your email address should be your name or your full name.
Okay.
Especially if you're putting in for opportunities, don't use those funny names that people use to set up their email address. And that leads me to my next question and my final question. I promise. Okay, so my final question is, what platforms will you advise anyone who wants to start like putting out content and just delivering their value to the world to start with? What platforms, what social media platforms do you advise that people start with first, or people even looking to, that will be simple for the current, like just beginning? You can go on, ma. Did you hear the question? Did you hear the question? Hello, Beulah. Did you hear the question? I'm not sure she got the question. But that's like the last question, so I hope she hears me on time. I hope she hears me on time. So I just want us to speak to that. platforms that people who want to really put out content, who want to make people know what they are doing, what where they can start from. Because there are some that are really difficult to navigate through, and there are some that are still okay for beginner level. So but it has been a wonderful time on this session with you guys on the University Through Our Eyes webinar series. Thank you to everyone who joined in, and I really want you to interact with this content. I really want you to interact with this content that we have put out. I really want you to interact with. So I was asking, you are welcome. I was asking the last question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I actually got the question. Yes, I can hear you. I got the
Okay,
question before network happened.
okay. Okay. So please speak to it, ma.
So okay, the platform I would just recommend. There are many platforms, so I can't say that this is the exact one that I would say that is the best for everybody. But one platform that I would say that we should all strive to be active on, though it is not easy because I know the pressure that is on the platform is LinkedIn because a lot of opportunities are tied to LinkedIn. A lot of opportunities are tied to LinkedIn. So, and it's a very professional platform. It's a very, very professional. It's not like TikTok or WhatsApp that you can just post anything anyhow and then you are just good to go. But try to be on LinkedIn, even if you are not every week consistent, even though we should try to be weekly consistent. But I've been off LinkedIn also for some months now, maybe close to 2 months because I needed that break for myself. But please be on LinkedIn. There are a lot of opportunities for you on LinkedIn. My sister got a job via LinkedIn. It is one of the testimonies that I do speak of when it comes to opportunities that you can get on LinkedIn. Another place you should try to be on is Instagram. If you are not on TikTok, it's fine. But please be on LinkedIn, be on Instagram. Sometimes when I want to search for brands or when you mention the name of somebody to me, if I check the person on LinkedIn and the person is not on LinkedIn, the next place I go to is Instagram because those are the two places I feel that I there's no way I should find the person in any of those platforms. And another one people talk about is Facebook. I don't use Facebook that much, but I know that Facebook is getting um is getting audience these days. And please, if you're doing anything related to tech, be on Twitter, please. Be on Twitter. It's very essential that you are on Twitter. If you're doing anything related to tech in this world and in this age, please be on Twitter. It's very, very essential. So I think those are the three major, or I think it's one of the four major social media platforms. I would say that even if you're not doing anything related to tech, just try to be on Twitter. Please be on Twitter. Be on Twitter. You might not tweet, but just be on Twitter to be updated about things. We are in a new age and you need to be updated. So those are for me, those are the important platforms. But if you feel TikTok is not, but so far, I don't know, but TikTok has not been it for me because it's mostly dance, 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 dance. I see on TikTok. So I don't really find educational content on TikTok. Or I say TikTok rather. So Pinterest is also a very good place for creatives. If you are a creative, Pinterest is a very good place for you to be also.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful, and this has been so insightful. I would even have to listen to this video again because it spoke to a lot of things that I have been wanting to share. Thank you so much to my sister who joined on this call. Thank you, Beulah.
Welcome.
It has been such a wonderful session. So please do
Welcome. Thank you.
like, share,
Thank you for
comment
the
on
privilege.
this video, subscribe to this channel. We love you, and of course, we'll try to do another webinar series one of these days. But we have come to the end of the University Through Our Eyes webinar series. Oh, it has been 5 weeks of having these conversations, and I'm very sure that someone got blessed through these conversations. So thank you so much, Bila, for being our last speaker on this series. God bless everyone who has watched every
You're welcome.
video. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.